But as you know, as I'm glued to the TV, and you know, I'm trying to figure out like just what's even going on, like how is this happening? And sometimes it's like, you know, I gotta turn the TV off because it's like it's so overwhelming.
Could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable, G?
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names.
Looks like Diddy's jail time just took a darker turn. The prison warden just confirmed his condition is way worse than the streets knew. Word is, there's HIV talks. He been getting attacked and straight up getting used by them inmates behind them walls. How much worse can it get before he don't make it out? Now, before we go any further, let's rewind a bit and connect what is really happening here. Y'all remember Diddy sitting in FCI Fort Dix after all the federal charges connected to arranged companionship transportation allegations. He first held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where conditions harsh with overcrowding and chaos.
Well, I'm outside the federal court building here in New York City, where P. Diddy has just been sentenced to 50 months in prison. So that's 4 years and 2 months in prison. He'll also have to serve 5 years of supervised release and pay a fine of $500,000. And that's related to his related offences that he was found guilty of at trial a couple of months ago. Offences relating to his freak-offs, or hotel nights as he called them, with his former girlfriends and male escorts. We heard from the music mogul for the first time today. He addressed the court pleading with the judge for mercy, to give him a second chance, apologising to his victims and describing his actions as disgusting, shameful and sick.
Word is things got messy for him there. Dude woke up to a knife at his throat and got attacked before they transferred him out. That alone shows the environment inside already dangerous. Picture this scenario. Folks on the inside been saying the Metropolitan Detention Center was straight chaos from day one. Thick walls, lights that never shut off, every sound bouncing off concrete like a warning. High profile names been through there, but none of that luxury Diddy used to move in. No private jets, mansions, just dorm style, living in a unit packed tight with about 20 other men. No real cells, just one big open space where privacy is a joke and tension sits heavy in the air. One wrong look and things can turn physical real quick. Word is that unit had a few small perks: air hockey, a gym, board games, TVs, a microwave, even tablets from the commissary, but none of that masked the constant vigilance required just to make it through a day. Head counts all day, early wake-ups, thin mattresses on twin beds with no pillows, communal bathrooms with nothing but thin curtains for cover. Everything monitored, every call, every email, every move watched. And still, the streets saying Diddy found ways to stretch those 15-minute phone limits by buying other inmates privileges, running three-way calls, staying connected outside the approved circle, power moves even behind bars. But that power did not stop the first attack. Former inmates talks about their experience. One dude says everybody got a knife. Them street wasn't shocked when Diddy got attacked.
Nice building that overlooks the river. Floor I was on was the dormitory floor, which was low-level security inmates, and they were in bunk beds spread out throughout the floor. Because I was there longer than a week, I was able to get commissary a couple times. I had use of the computer and the phone. Other than that, there was barely anything to do. Just stuck on this unit all day long.
But I got the chance to come home from MDC, so the things that I experienced are fresh. You know, I didn't forget them. And I would always say, because, man, like, it's nothing that I've ever experienced before. I've experienced being in a cell on lockdown and not being fed. I've experienced where they cut the air off and we're in there as two grown men. You know, our cells are basically a bathroom.
What was your daily life like in the Fed prison? Because Feds is different from state.
Pretty much different. Constant lockdown, constant stabbing. They are like very, very, very high in the street on respect. They go to PC, a lot of them, because they know if you go out there, they're gonna kill you. Everybody have a knife. When you first get there, when I first got to the USP, the first thing they hit me when I came out there, he said, "Hey, what's up, Trav?" He's like, man, look, come on in my room, bro. I said, what's up, man? Keep this knife on you. Everybody got one. He said, boy, this is your driver's license right here. Keep this knife on you.
Is that considered a shank?
No, a knife.
A real knife?
Real knife.
Where y'all get real knives from?
The police officer bring him in.
Yeah, that knife at the throat incident forced the transfer. They moved him to Fort Dix, a lower security spot, thinking maybe the pressure would ease. But the streets already knew better. The attacks did not stop. Even in the new facility, the environment stayed hostile. Folks close to the system say other inmates tested him early, thinking the celebrity status made him soft or protected. Wrong move. Yeah, because Diddy been known to grab and yoke people up even when security stood right there in the free world. That energy followed him inside, and recently it boiled over again. Word is he jumped on an inmate, things got physical, and the facility that locked him in solitary. The call came clear, placed in isolation around 4 in the afternoon, at least 30 days. His team still sorting the details. They did not dispute the report. Now, we do not have every fact locked, but the street is saying it could have been self-defense. An inmate running his mouth, pushing buttons, maybe bringing up old files or private knowledge that Diddy was not trying to hear. In a place where old scores and loose talk travel fast, that kind of confrontation can spark in seconds. Either way, solitary is where he landed. Another layer of isolation on top of everything else already cracking.
Well, I got a phone call yesterday that Diddy was placed in solitary confinement because he beat up a man. I was told, literally, the phone call was, hey, Diddy choked the man out. He was placed in solitary confinement yesterday, July 23rd, around 4 o'clock p.m. And he'll be there for at least 30 days is what I was told. I reached out to Diddy's team. At the time, they knew I was calling, but they still trying to figure it out. They said that they don't know either way, but they didn't dispute my phone call.
What happened though?
So all that I know and all that was mentioned to me, I don't know every detail. Literally, though, I said why. They said, sometimes people think that they can play with him, and I don't know if it's because of all of the reporting around the case or if it's because he's a big celebrity and, they think that he's used to being, protected. But I was told people think that they can play with him, and we've told people don't think that. And
I told people 1,000,001 times.
Yesterday,
Diddy
he
is
had to
not
demonstrate.
a sucker.
Allegedly.
I mean, we laugh at Diddy and all that, but Diddy's not a sucker. I've seen Diddy grab people, yoke people up in clubs, with security there. Diddy's no sucker. Diddy's, he's with all the ish.
And while the physical threats kept coming, the condition of his body started telling its own story. Back before he got sentenced, when Diddy showed up in court looking thinner and grayer, early talk said he just missed the private chef life. Then the whispers shifted. Maggot-infested food floating through the system. Inmates refusing trays. Appetite gone, but the streets pushed deeper. Word is the weight dropped and the drained look came from something heavier than bad meals. An acute STD, allegedly HIV.
That's why he wanted to get out, so bad. But I think that they're gonna railroad Diddy. Do I think that there are maggots in the food? I won't trust anything when you of the stature of Diddy. Do I think they give every inmate maggot food? Probably not.
Prison staff confirmation of an outbreak linked to him started circulating hard. Folks saying Diddy been getting down with DL inmates, no protection available at will, and the virus spread among the on the floor. Jail is the term making rounds. Dudes fighting over who makes his bed, who gets close, who earns approval. Full-blown fan club energy inside the walls. And if the rumors hold, the same reckless pattern from the free world followed him in.
According to you, the inmates are fighting over making his bed.
Yep, well, really, according to Lisa Evers, I want to give her credit.
That pattern is not new. For years, the streets talked about the down-low lifestyle, male escorts, secret flights, shut-door parties, freak-off events where boundaries disappeared and protection never made the guest list. Feds raided the homes and found nearly 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Nothing that pointed to safety measures, just the vibe and the risk. So if he also using same energy inside, then he and other inmates be battling health challenges. Jaguar Wright been loud for a while, saying he battled HIV and hinting at least 20 other men in the industry sitting in the same boat. We can't get into all that. Y'all can look it up later.
And they seize cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
All the baby oil bottles Diddy was hiding just got recovered from his Los Angeles mansion, and we got it all on camera. First off, let's start by saying Diddy had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and Astroglide just in that mansion, and this is just one photo out of many. Here, you can see the library mentioned by the Homeland Security agent during his testimony against Diddy. This here is Diddy's nightstand right next to his bed. If you think there's a lot of Astroglide there, wait till you see this next one. You're gonna be shocked. In this photo, it's all the Astroglide bottles still in boxes in his garage. They also found a backpack full of baby oil.
Could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did do that. And
Period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names.
Then the outside support started cracking. Clive Davis gone. The man who allegedly opened doors early, shaped the empire, pulled strings from the outside once the charges hit. Reports said Diddy broke down heavy in prison after the news, wailing like the last real lifeline snapped. Clive had been working with Diddy's mother and the legal team, pressing for early moves, quiet help behind the scenes. Though that one time when Clive was asked about helping Diddy, he said nothing. People say he helping him behind them scenes. Other names in the industry already distanced themselves to avoid going down with the ship.
Mr. Davis, you're a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid? You were a major influence on his career. Have you spoken to Sean Combs? Any comment, Mr. Davis? What do you make of the allegations against P. Diddy? Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
Breaking news from the world of entertainment. Legendary record executive Clive Davis has died. The music industry titan helped sign massive artists like Barry Manilow, Pink Floyd, shaped the career of Whitney Houston famously, even the boss, Bruce Springsteen. Davis was 94 years old. So,
with that protector gone, the isolation inside got colder. No more soft landings from powerful friends on the outside. The streets saying that loss made every threat inside land harder. Attacks that might have been managed before now sit different. The pressure from every direction stacked higher. Meanwhile, the legal side kept shifting. New lawsuits dropping, witnesses stepping up with claims of arranged companionship, nose candy, situations that crossed serious lines. Adria English talking about being pulled in after a modeling audition, then trapped in cycles at the white parties. April Lampros describing encounters from the 90s after promises of mentorship. Crystal McKinney saying she was 22 at Fashion Week when career help turned into a studio situation that left lasting damage, patterns repeating.
Now people are open to hearing what has happened to me. People weren't ready to hear it 20 years ago. My name is Adria Cherie Marcy English, and I was hired in the early 2000s to be a go-go dancer at Diddy's private white parties. I looked up to Diddy. He was an icon. He was innovative. I had dreams and goals to be in the entertainment industry. And so when I got the opportunity to dance at the white parties, I really took it seriously. The first time I met him, he was very nice. I had special talent, special skill. They liked my energy. So it was a very great experience initially. After about the second or third party is when I got asked to do extra things more than dancing at the private white parties. It was more mingling more and being available if they wanted to participate in extras, I should say.
When you said that they started asking you to participate in extras, what do you mean?
He would bring me to people. Diddy would sit me with certain people and for me to entertain them. There were private areas and private rooms of the house that, I had to walk people to. And then, I was like,
SA incidents. The first, April alleges she went to meet with Diddy at a bar in Soho. He introduces her to a female friend of his. She remembers having a few sips of her drinks, and they all left for a hotel nearby, and she just had this feeling of uneasiness in the hotel room. She remembers laying in bed when Diddy forced himself on top of her. She leaves and she told herself she would never talk to Diddy again, but he continues love bombing her and telling her how advantageous her life will be, her career will take off as long as Diddy is on her side. So, I mean, she's studying to get into the fashion world, which he is a big prominent figure of at that time.
And while Diddy worked the laundry unit, completed programs, tried to show reform for that April 2028 date his team been pushing, the leaks kept undercutting the clean image. Every new claim adds weight. Every resurfaced story makes early freedom look further away.
They tried to convince a panel of judges that the convicted rapper should be released immediately because the judge that sentenced him relied on things that Combs was not convicted of.
The evidence and the arguments just reaffirms in this case that that the evidence that the judge was relying on is totally separate and in fact was acquitted conduct.
The thing is, though, up until last year, judges actually were allowed to consider what is known as acquitted conduct that you heard the defense there talk about. Remember, last year, a judge sentenced Combs to 4 years and 2 months in prison. That was after a jury convicted Combs of transporting people across state lines for. But they acquitted him of the most serious charges of and conspiracy. We don't know when the judges are going to make a decision on this appeal, but the defense wants it done as fast as possible because Diddy is set to be released from prison in April of 2028.
And inside Fort Dix, the same energy that once controlled rooms now sits under constant watch, dealing with groups, health rumors, and fresh physical confrontations. Folks online already connecting every piece. One side saying the virus talk explains the drain look better than any maggot tray. Another side pointing at the energy and asking how long an outbreak stays contained in a dorm setting. Others focused on the solitary move and wondering what exactly the inmate said that sparked the response. Self-defense or not, the result is more isolation. And with Clive gone, fewer hands on the outside pulling levers. One user mockingly puts it, maggots in the food, but that ain't nothing but protein. Another wrote, he's not getting out. Enough is enough. Yet another said, Jaguar looked like she glowing and thriving more in each video on here. The truth makes you healthier and younger. Now spotlight turns on you. What else is sitting in those staff reports that has not hit the streets yet? And if the attacks keep coming even after the transfer and the solitary stretch, how much longer before the walls claim more than just time? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the convo going. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more stories straight from the hood.